Hey guys, Anthony here. Friday, February 21st, and it's just about 6 p.m. 2014. I'm out with my little puppy Teddy tonight. We're out taking a walk, enjoying this beautiful South Florida weather, watching the sunset there just over yonder in the west. We're looking southwest here. Okay, sitting beside one of the beautiful lakes here in the city. This is a little spot that we sit at every night. It's a little hill with a tree I could lean up against, and Teddy catches his breath and watches the people jog by on the trails here, as you can see him doing here, and he looks for little things to do. So he's enjoying himself. The reason for the video tonight is to touch base again on what's going on in Venezuela. All right, puppy, sit down. Sit down and relax. I did a video the other day, and it's posted up on my site. You guys, if you haven't seen it, take a look at it. But basically, went over some of the atrocities that are going on there in that totally 100% corrupt government that's in place, that socialist communist government that's in place there. And basically what's going on with the 30 million people in Venezuela is they are, many of them are revolting or are marching in the streets. It started out, I guess, with some students organizing these protests, and it mushroomed from there. And in response to the population uprising, the government decided to start killing people. I know the news reports have said there's, I think, 2 or 3 people dead, but my sources are telling me, and again, I tell you guys that I have some pretty close sources in Venezuela that I'm very close with, and my sources told me today maybe 50 plus have been killed so far in the last few days by the government forces and the so-called pro-government militia, who basically I touched upon the other day. Who are these people, the pro-government militia? Well, basically they're criminals or people that are able to be bought off with money, which they are getting paid by the government. I'm not sure exactly how much. I think my source told me it was, I could look this up again and try to get back to an answer, but it's 5,000 bolivars a day, which is, I think it's like equivalent to a month's wages. So the government's paying these people, arming these people, these criminals, and sending them out on the streets to harass, to beat, and to pillage, and to even kill their own fellow citizens. And so that is one of the ways that the government is cracking down on the people. It's gotten to the point now, my sources are telling me, where these pro-government militias and also government, many times accompanied by government officials or military, Venezuelan military, go directly to people's houses right now as I speak, are kicking in doors, breaking down houses, breaking in, and people are disappearing. There's many people that are not accounted for right now in Venezuela. Where they are, no one knows. Are they in prison camps? Are they kidnapped? Are they killed? Are they being held hostage? Well, that hasn't been spelled out yet. But what's happening is there's shortages of everything out there. Food, you know, basic food needs are not being met. People are afraid to go to work, so a lot of the country's at a standstill. So now there's not any, you know, no money being generated. Supplies are very low. Things like, you know, basic necessities like toilet paper and things you just need for everyday living are scarce, if not unable to get. Meat that you and I enjoy anytime we want, for the most part, is a delicacy there. It can't be found. And so people are starving or running out of supplies, and they don't know what they're going to do. I haven't heard anything of any aid organizations coming in. I heard a little bit today on the news of some of our government officials speaking out against what's happening, but how we as a country would help them, Venezuela, I'm not sure. I haven't heard any plans yet by anybody from our government to try to get this regime to stop what it's doing. Basically, one story touched me today that my source went over with me, and I'll try to update over the weekend as I get more information. I'll try to back it up with some videos or pictures or whatever I could get from these sources. But one student, I guess he was a student protester or organizer, was taken captive by the government, and okay, sit down, was taken captive by the government, and basically an AK-47 rifle was shoved up his butt to the point of almost killing him. The gun wasn't fired, but it was shoved up his butt, and then I guess as he's writhing in pain or whatever he's going through, these wonderful military people gave him a sponge soaked in gasoline to clean himself up with. I know this because the doctor that is treating him texted a message to my source and gave a description on what he's treating this young man for. I don't know the status, if he's going to die, if he's going to live. Don't know that, but I'm just giving you an example of some of the atrocities being done as I make this video. And why do I do it? And why did I compare in my last video where I said, could this happen here in the United States? Well, I'm a firm believer that if we fall asleep at the wheel in this country and let these socialists, these card-carrying socialists that are running our country in many in government and in other sectors, if they continue to keep having their way and destroying this country, the end result could be a Venezuela type situation here in the United States, which would be a lot bigger and worse because we have a lot more people. Now, granted, there are a lot of citizens in the United States that are armed to the teeth, and that is a good thing, and that's what's keeping these socialists in check. That's why when you hear these government officials around our country saying, we need stricter gun laws, we need to take guns off the street, we need to disarm the population, we need to register, we need a registry, basically the answer should be NO spells no. Nothing. No registry, no more laws, no more unconstitutional laws being passed, and the people should not pay attention to what the government is trying to pass, because they know in the end the only way for them to gain total power is to disarm the population. Now, in Venezuela, I know for a fact that many of the people do not have long guns, rifles, shotguns, things of that nature. I know they're outlawed. Pistols, I'm sure there are many out there in the population, but again, when 5 or 6 pro-government militia show up at your door with AK-47s backed up by government military with heavy weapons, what are you going to do with your 9mm pistol except get yourself killed? You need to live to fight another day. But at the same time, depending on what they're after you for, you could end up disappearing. They could end up raping your wife, or taking your burning your house down. Who knows? Whatever they could do, basically whatever they want, because the people are at their mercy for the most part. And that's the point I'm trying to make. We could never ever let that get to the point in this country where we are a people running scared of a government that's armed and a pro-government militia who will basically be criminals, cartels, gangs, you name it, that the government has to do their bidding out on the streets and armed, coming after the regular law-abiding citizen that's just speaking out for their rights, for their basic rights, for basic freedoms and justice and liberty. Those are being denied in Venezuela as I speak. And that's why I think that we, as preppers, as a nation, as YouTubers, should 100% wholeheartedly support this uprising in Venezuela any way we can. If it's just by getting the word out, by letting our government officials know, by letting our friends know what's really going on there, and not depend on the lamestream media for much of the information. I just hope we could help in any way, and I explain that to a lot of my Venezuelan friends that I have here in South Florida, that I will do my part, certainly, along with prayer. Incidentally, the video, I have a video I'm going to attach to this video if you watch it. At the end, I think there's a priest that's praying. Well, that priest has disappeared and he's either been beaten or arrested or beaten and released. But that was his fate recently. And so there are many people hurting and suffering out there. We need to do whatever we can. We need to keep Venezuelans in our prayer. We need to keep freedom in general in our prayer around the world. Persecutions that are going on, even in the Ukraine, there's things going on right now as we speak, and around the world all over. There are these totalitarian regimes, these communist regimes, these socialist regimes, whatever face they have on, that are emboldened worldwide and trying to just have people submit to their authority. And that cannot be allowed to happen. And we need to be vigilant here in this country, because I'm telling you guys, I know we have certain freedoms right now, and I think we have a lot less than people think. They make it seem like we are a free nation, and for the most part we are, but I think there's a thin veneer that could change at a moment's notice. And our world, our whole outlook on the future can change in a moment's notice or overnight. Through an economic disaster, some kind of contrived government, like what went on in California with the shooting up of the electric grid there. That kind of got hushed up, and nobody really spoke too much about that. But is that a dry run for a much larger scale grid down situation that could bring about martial law? Don't know. It's certainly possible. And I'm going to make another video. Maybe this one's getting a little too long, but I'll make another video on my response to a gentleman that said we don't need rifles as as preppers. Pistols are enough. And I just totally 100% disagree with that. And I'm going to be doing a video response to that. I did a written response to it, but now I'm going to do a video response to it. So guys, thank you for joining me tonight. Keep up whatever you can do regarding Venezuela, however you can help, whether it's researching it, just making a video, or getting the word out there, passing along information. Anything helps. These people are suffering, and they are running from a corrupt and tyrannical government, and those the government is using to suppress them. So stay ready, stay vigilant, have a great and safe weekend, and take care, and God bless. Anthony signing off from South Florida, along with Teddy. Thanks for watching.